Okay, this is the interview with Dr. Khalid Manzoor Butt. He's the head of the Department of Political Sciences at the Government College University in Lahore. You've been head of this department and working at the university for 15 years now. So can you tell us something about the main challenges and constraints for higher education in Pakistan?
The first problem in Pakistan is that government is not allocating that much money to the education and particularly to the higher education, because internationally it is a set standard that government allocate at least 4% of their GDP for the education. But sadly speaking, Pakistan government is giving less than 1% for the education, which can tell the story. And second point is that in higher education, we have very limited kind of universities in Pakistan. And now some private universities are coming up. But you know, in private university, their fee structure is very high. So keeping in view that Pakistan is a poor country, people need public sector university. And for quality education, any university needs funds, which we lack because of the funding situation. So that is the biggest problem in Pakistan, and that's why we see that not many people come to education because of financial constraints. Salaries are not too much high, salaries are very much limited. So that's why people are reluctant to come to education sector. So this is the biggest problem in higher education in Pakistan.
So why did you choose to become a social scientist and as a career path, because it's probably not one of the best paid jobs in Pakistan?
This is a very interesting question, and let me answer in this manner that I think that by education you can play your role and you can do something for the society, and when you are in an education, then you can transfer knowledge to the coming generation. So to me it is a very big job, and it is a job of a prophet, like, because he is also very keen to spread education, and that's why I was always keen to educate the young generation, because then I feel that I am contributing toward the society which needs very much education, because in Pakistan literacy rate is too much low, and particularly higher education is very low. So for that matter, I think being part of that society, I should play my role to educate people, to make them aware about the environment, about the world. That's why they could become better people.
ZEF and GCU have been cooperating for nearly 2 years now. This is the first cooperation with Germany of your college. Is it important for GCU?
Yes, very much important, because it gives us exposure to the Western world. And this was the first collaboration in social science departments, and we are really benefited out of that, because through this project we can come across with the German colleagues, we interact with each other, we exchange our views, and this gave an opportunity to us to study and see the German educational system, to see the German institution, how they work. So this is really benefited for us, and I must say that through this project we come to know how we can have qualitative research. And earlier we try to do something research which is only book based. I always call it cut paste research. So through qualitative research for social development, we went to the people, we met the people, we go to the target areas and target population. So through this we have primaries, we use primary sources, and now we are very good in qualitative research, and I have no hesitation in saying that we have learned it from the German colleagues.
So the cooperation has fulfilled your expectations?
More than my expectations, because through this project our 7-8 students came to this institution ZEF, and they themselves watched and saw the German educational system, and some of our colleagues also come to be part of the faculty and stay as visiting professor. So through this interaction, we got lots of exposure, we had lots of interactions, and we come to know how education system work in a developed country. So it's really benefited not only for students but for the faculty also, and for our institutional development and for our capacity building. So that's why I really appreciate this project and I am very much impressed.
You've been here for a work stay, for a research stay in Germany. So what do you especially appreciate about the German higher education system?
First, I will say I am grateful to the ZEF who recommended my synopsis for this research article, which is funded by DART. And by coming here, I have been given room, library facility, and I have got an opportunity to meet different academicians to whom I got different, I discuss a matter related to my research, and I got some very good points. So I can say that through their cooperation, their input, that would be a quality research paper, and definitely it will be published. When it will be published, so it would be, I think, another outcome of our joint collaboration between ZEF and GC University Lahore. So I think I got great deal of help and support, and I really like the German system because they make people self-reliant and they provide them opportunity to explore himself and to explore the data and to explore the knowledge, and then there is an opportunity to interact with different colleagues, and then you can be in a position to make a quality research paper.
You're a kind of pioneer of field research and collecting primary data for social sciences in Pakistan. So could you tell us a bit about your current research on female prisoners in Lahore?
That's very important kind of research because you know, in Pakistan, but I would say generally all over the world, women are being exploited. But in case of third world country and in case of Pakistan, they are extremely exploited. They are a vulnerable section of the society, though they are more than half of the population, but still they are being exploited and they are vulnerable, and a common woman is facing lots of problem and discriminatory treatment from the society. But when we talk about women prisoners, so they are further marginalized, and that those are the women who have been facing so much problems, atrocities when they are facing the trial and when they go to jail, and even after when they release from the jail, society doesn't accept them, their relatives are not ready to accept them, so they are extremely marginalized section of the society. So that's why you know, every time I always go for social development research. So this topic really inspired me to write about this thing, and I know there is very limited kind of research have been undertaken for this topic. So that's why I have chosen this area, and when I sent the synopsis to the DART and for their final approval, so they really like it and they approved my scholarship to write research paper on this topic. So I think because I have interviewed many women prisoners and other stakeholders, so I have found this is the topic that we should have a research and we should write and know the insight of this phenomena, and this is really inspired me, and that's why I'm writing a research paper on it.
We're looking forward to reading it. And can you tell us something about the future plans for cooperation with ZEF?
Actually, with the success of this 2-year collaboration, now it has given us that much confidence that now we are heading to another project, and we are going to apply it. That would be on urban rural migration, rural-urban migration, and in city like Lahore, which is a center of political, cultural activities, so it is full of immigrants. So because of immigrants, this city is facing lots of problems, civic problem, social problem, political problem, economic problem. So there are so many things in Lahore happening due to migration. So we have sending for the approval another project, rural urban migration, and hopefully it will also last for another 2 years. And one more thing, we are working on a project, that is Lahore Amritsar project, and it would be a new experience, because in this project 3 countries and 3 universities are involved. GC University Lahore and Guru Nanak University Amritsar and ZEF University of Bonn. So it would be another experience for us to have a tripartite collaboration among different universities. So again, it would be very useful for all the university, because when they interact with each other, they can share experience with each other. So definitely there would be better outcome.